Today I want to tell you a story about being hungover at work. Um, Obviously, it's very frowned upon in the institution, but for the most part, most service members, at some point in their life, they've gotten drunk and had to go into work. You know, every other weekend we had to work Saturday, Sunday. It was pretty cool. We didn't feed a whole lot of people, so it wasn't really stressed out. So on Saturdays and Sundays, usually we come in at 7, um, and you know it was a real simple breakfast: bacon and sausage, hash browns, whatever. So we'd knock that out, and as long as you were ready to go at 8 o'clock, it was not uncommon when you had to work the weekends that you still go out. All right. I mean, no, but for 7 years, I did a very good job. I had a very healthy diet of clubbing on Friday, Saturday nights, unless I was just absolutely broke. And even then, I would still find a way. So I don't remember what I was doing that night, but I was just drunk. I was tore up. Let me tell you, if you've been out partying, you came back, you tried to get dressed and then lay down and sleep with your clothes on because you were going to struggle to get up and get dressed. And you just do it before you lay down because the rest is going to hurt after. So I got up, and that day, that Saturday, I had, I was doing the meal, so I was the meats guy, and so I had to fix everything on that main line, just smaller portions, so it's not bad. And I got everything there, and I remember Sergeant Rowan was he was my boss that day, and I think it was 205th MI. They had their brigade was out of Munich, and their sergeant major was a guy named Sergeant Major Moore. Now, Sergeant Major Moore, I'm 5'8", and this guy, he was about 5'3", so he was somewhere in here. So he wasn't a tall guy, and he was short, so it was kind of comical. And because they got the power and all that, and so he's I don't know what he was doing there on a Saturday, but he came in to eat breakfast. I mean, that was technically his mess hall. So I was in there, and I was starting to sober up, and I'm sweating, and God knows, my breath. Oh God, I reeked of alcohol. My boss, he was like, "Oh, you're drunk." I'm like, okay. He knew it, but it's like, yeah, we don't care. Get to work. Um, so he comes back in. He says, "Vincent, Sergeant Major wants to see you." And I was like, oh, and I'm just like what? I mean, because when you don't just get told the sergeant major wants to see you, because we didn't deal with sergeant majors around there. The only sergeant major was at the hospital, really, and he didn't deal with nobody else. I come out there, and I knew who he was, but you just didn't see them but maybe once or twice a year. But people, they don't, they keep to themselves. So he comes out there and he says, "Specialist Vincent, did you make that cream beef?" And I'm like, and that's because I'm drunk. Well, because I'm just hungover. God, I'm hungover, and I don't want to I don't want to have to go get a breathalyzer because I knew I'd fail it. I mean, I probably stopped drinking like 5 o'clock that morning, and so I'm talking to him, and I got my head down, because you're standing there with your hands behind your back, you're at parade rest, and you're addressing him, and I'm telling you, I was talking to the ground. I tried everything I could do to avoid looking at him because I didn't want my breath going at him. So he's standing here and I'm talking down here, and did you make that cream beef? And I was like, yes, Sergeant Major. And that's the best cream beef I ever had. And I was, and you know, Rowan, he's back, he's back on the line, and I couldn't see his face, and Sergeant Major, he turns around and they carry around these coins. They got battalion coins, brigade coins, and supposedly you can get a 3-day pass if you turn it in. It's an honor to get one. And somewhere I've still got this thing somewhere. And and you're just like, oh, okay, because I'm just thinking, I thought, man, they was gonna come take blood, and I was gonna be looking at a Article 15 for being drunk on duty. And he leaves, and I go back in the kitchen, and Rowan comes in there, and he's cussing me out. He says, you come to work drunk and you get an award for it. I didn't come to work hungover very often, but on that day I did, and I got an award for it. I think that night I probably just went straight to bed when I got out, and because we had to work the next day. So thank you guys. Give me your comments. Please subscribe, and we got a lot more stuff coming. I got a lot more people coming. All right, it's going to be one of the biggest storytelling channels you've ever seen. All right, Tiger Channel. All right, at Tiger Channel, Tiger with a Y.